You acknowledged on the House floor last week that you are exploring a new strategy to revive a D.C. voting rights proposal, presumably by attaching it to a conference report of the defense spending bill. Where does that conversation stand, and when do you expect that defense measure would come to the floor?
Well, the discussion is ongoing, and I expect the defense measure to come to the floor within the next 3 or 4 weeks, perhaps sooner. But that's only one option. There are a number of options that Mrs. Norton and I have discussed and others have discussed. As you know, I'm very much in favor of ensuring that Mrs. Norton has a vote so that the 600,000-plus residents of the District of Columbia can have a voice and a vote.
There has been some objection to attaching this measure to a defense bill, most notably coming from Congressman Kevin McCarthy, Republican of California. You've heard this before, but hear him say it again and tell us what your response is.
The passion which you started speaking when you talked about the troops. I'll never question your passion for the troops. And I know we have our philosophical differences, and I think they're constructive. I think debates are constructive. The one thing I firmly believe, when we talk about the Department of Defense, when we talk about we have men and women in harm's way, we should never play politics with it.
Politics in the U.S. Congress reminds me of Casablanca. I'm shocked that politics is taking place in the Congress. Congressman Hoyer.
Well, my response, of course, to Mr. McCarthy was that the defense bill is about defense, but it's also about the defense of freedom, democracy, and our principles and ideals. And certainly one of the most important principles and ideals in any democracy is that the people decide. And the people decide in a representative democracy through their representatives having the ability to vote. As I said, the District of Columbia voters can vote for their representative, but their representative cannot vote. I think that's an untenable situation, and what I responded to Congressman McCarthy, that while that avenue had not been necessarily decided upon as an avenue to bring the D.C. bill, if it was, it seems to me that it would be consistent with the purposes of the defense bill.